Hi, Melissa. How are you
Hi,
today?
Kelsey. I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. Hello, everyone watching. I want to introduce you to Melissa, and she has graciously joined us today to tell us about her story of being right in the thick of her health and weight loss journey. So I thought it'd be really cool for you to hear from her and her mindset shifts, and really to hear how she's already had so much success. I think a lot of times we hear these before and after stories, and we don't get to hear about the middle. So I wanted to bring her on today and just chat a little bit. So, Melissa, do you just want to take a minute to introduce who you are and tell everyone about
Sure.
yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, my name is Melissa. I am a working mom of three boys. I've been married to my husband for going on 18 years, and we live in Oregon. We have a couple of dogs, a couple of cats. I have been I don't know, with Kelsey for what, like 10 weeks, I think. And so I was super happy that she asked me to chat here, because like she said, it's so nice to see before and afters, but there's a lot of work that happens in the middle, and it's not all pretty, but it's definitely a process that's really positive, and I feel so empowered right now. And I feel like, being with Kelsey and the Fit Moms Academy has made such an impact on my life and my health, and not just in weight loss and other areas too. And so, yeah, I'm just really glad to be here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive in. So tell us about before we worked together, what were you frustrated about? Kind of where were you at before, we started the process in Fit Moms
Sure.
Academy?
Yeah. So, I've struggled with kind of I don't know, bad relationship with food since I was, a young teenager, junior high. And, looking back and really kind of working the last few months on this, I can really see something that Kelsey actually talks about, that you talk about, that there's this generational pattern of, poor relationships with food and poor health. I can look back at my grandmother and my mom too, to a lesser extent, but especially my grandmother. And, obesity ultimately was the major contributor to her death. She died at 62. Um, and so I think as a child, as a young teen, not really knowing how to deal with that, I just starved myself for a lot of years. But then when I eventually did start, eating, um, I really had significant weight loss and really quickly. So, you know, through the years, lots of years passed. During those years, I tried things. I did, Pilates and dance workouts, and I don't know, step aerobics. Kelsey might not be old enough to remember step aerobics.
Oh yeah. Fun.
I did cycling. I cycled. I did all kinds of things. I did portion control containers. I did low carb. Like you name it, I probably tried it. I was actually on this one diet where I had to eat 6 mini meals a day, and I had to like count how many proteins and carbs they had. It was really complicated. It worked for a little while, but I kind of would end up hitting some sort of roadblock and found each one of those really not sustainable. Um, so after quite a few years, I got married, had kids. Actually, strangely enough, the only time I don't gain weight is when I'm pregnant. So, um, and then, finished college. I ended up getting a really great promotion, but found myself just buried in stress. And so all these things contributed to, more and more weight gain and putting my health really on the back burner. And so, um, yeah, so I had definitely had frustrations in many different areas, um, and felt really like a failure. And like there was really no hope at all. So.
So, what motivated you to start working together? What was the shift that made you decide to say yes to kind of taking control back in that area?
So, before our paths crossed, just earlier in the year, I had kind of felt like this, I don't know, burden really to get closer to God and, try to be more intentional about studying my Bible. I did some journaling. I really tried to start focus on, making sure I spent time in prayer. And all of that led me to a few lifestyle changes that I feel like God was using to kind of prepare me to cross paths with you. Because those things really kind of put me in a place where I was ready, I guess. So when when I think I saw either an ad on Facebook or something like that, um, and then we chatted, and I heard you talk about your vision, and it's different than other health coaches that we all probably have had and encountered. Um, Really having a vision to help women, specifically moms, find solutions to weight struggles. And I really felt like it was kind of like a God thing. I don't know. It was just like God put me in the right place at the right time and had done some, preparations on my heart and mind already. Um, and then honestly, like when we chatted that first time, I just felt like kind of a connection with you. You were so kind and you felt so approachable. And, for the first time, really, when that first one, I knew I'd cry on this. Why do I cry? When you said, I can help you and I believe in you, I actually believed you, and that felt amazing. So I feel like even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm on a path that's straight and it's doable. It's within my grasp. And I have control. So that feels amazing.
Yeah. Yay. So tell us what's changed, in life, in your personal life, mindset, beliefs. Kind of walk us through what has been changing for you.
So, first of all, I have become the mom with the healthy snacks. So, and that has certainly never been the case before. Um, but I think that when we sign up to lose weight, we think we've got to we hear it all the time, right? Eat less and move more, which yes, there is, of course, you have to eat less and lose more or move more. But there's more to it than that. And, you know, when I don't know, I feel like there have been so many positive changes just for me personally, as far as just scheduling. I like I said, I'd done a little bit of work before Kelsey and I started, so I was starting to get into meal planning, but I also was like totally intimidated by meal planning and meal prepping. I still I see these pictures on Pinterest of these people who line out these containers and they throw food in them like on Sunday and they've got Friday's lunch done. I don't want to do that. And so I've just picked up some tools and I think planning and scheduling has been one of the crucial parts of learning for me. Um, of course, it starts with vision, but then like the scheduling and like making sure your schedule actually fits that vision. So now I don't see like meal planning as a chore. I actually really look forward to it, and every Thursday evening I just set aside time and plug in what we're going to eat next week. I get groceries scheduled for delivery or pickup or whatever. And that little thing has not only, meant that we have healthy foods available for us, it also has eliminated a lot of stress. That ridiculous, like, hey, what do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to eat for dinner? That silliness is gone. It's just like, okay, what's on today's plan? And even on days where things are stressful, we've got a lot of stuff going on with our kids, especially right now it's baseball season. Even in those times, we've got a plan, um, and on those inevitable times where the plan doesn't work out perfectly, it's still some sort of structure that makes a big, big difference in stress levels and in our health. And I've seen that be a positive for not just me, but also for my kids. I have a 13 and 12-year-old and the 3-year-old who doesn't really care. But especially for my 12 and 13-year-olds, has been a really big deal. Um,
Now they're
so
cooking with you, right?
yeah, actually right now, right before we joined, I got your little message. My son and I were making barbecue sauce together. So, um,
Yeah.
and I think also just some of the things that we do in Fit Moms Academy have just built in awareness. So things, it's not unique, I guess, to Fit Moms where you not only plan what you're going to eat, but also track it. And I think that has been another new habit, a new tool that's been so important because before, like if I had some sort of indulgence, I'd kind of forget I had that indulgence. Like maybe we had like a donut for breakfast. Well, then it's like after dinner and everybody wants ice cream and, oh, I shouldn't do that because I already kind of had an indulgence this morning and I don't want to, sabotage myself and send myself avalanching outside of my plan. And so I think that's another really helpful thing. And the other thing that has been super helpful in building awareness for me is um, actually every time I eat, I think of this, replace the carbs with vegetables. And so like we now have tacos. I don't eat tacos. I have taco salad. A few weeks ago, we were at my brother's for chicken fajitas and I had chicken fajita salad. And so super easy, really simple tweak to do, but like things you just don't know or don't think about. And having someone like Kelsey say, hey, this could be something positive in your diet to do for yourself, makes a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think from my perspective, you've done such a great job. Like you just mentioned, the awareness piece and kind of working through the mindset work with food. That's been such a cool change that I've been able to see that you've done as we've been working together. And you should mention that you've done all this with an injury and not being able to exercise, right?
I've lost 14.3 pounds and basically been sedentary for like 8 weeks. I started off with kind of a bang, really getting up and moving and going. And then I just got to a point where I couldn't anymore because every time I took a walk, my foot would just kill me. And I pushed through it, hoping it would just clear up. And then finally was like, I have to give into this and just let it heal. And it finally, I think which is great because I was like getting pretty discouraged about it. But yeah, 14.3 pounds.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Just getting started, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what if somebody was considering joining us in Fit Moms Academy and working together? What would you tell them? Would you recommend it? What kind of advice would you have?
I would absolutely say 100% do it. I will be frank and say like the investment was not necessarily an easy thing for my family. But having a coach and not just the coach, having the community, is, I think, just crucial. And like I said before, like Kelsey doesn't start you off with just move more, just do this workout and just, eat less. You've dived into who I am to help me figure out why this is important for me. And really, my individuality, teaching me, intentional planning, about vision. And I've taken that also to my family. So that support has been really crucial. And, I probably don't use you as often as I should, but I know you're there. If I have a question, I can bounce things off of you. I can check in, send you a message, and you're kind of like all of our cheerleaders. And then we can be each other's cheerleaders too. So I would absolutely say do what you can to try to make it work, because it's different. It's not what you see anywhere else. And I think the connections you make in Fit Moms Academy are amazing. Everyone has their own journey and we can help each other. And so it's great. It's like having a team of cheerleaders. Everybody's on your side and, there's no judgment. Everybody's just super supportive. And I feel like that has been a really important part of why I've been successful so far. And, there's also something to be said about having to go to a group of people and tell them about, how you've succeeded and how you failed. And you can kind of keep that in the back of your mind that I'm gonna have to tell my team about this, so that's helpful too.
Yeah, it's cool for me to see the relationships build between you guys too.
Yeah,
That's really cool to see. And that's why I love working especially with kingdom-minded moms, because that's how the kingdom works, right? Like people, you get to meet new connections, and I really see what we do as like a hub. We bring you in, we help you to get this area of your life in alignment and send you out to do the work that God's created you to do. So
absolutely.
it's cool to see that process. So if you had to give your number one piece of advice for anybody who feels stuck in their weight, what would you say?
I would say that we can't live in a silo. We really need community as human beings, and it can be uncomfortable, especially at first. In fact, I remember crying, telling you how much weight I needed to lose. But even that was like the first step, like saying it out loud was one step forward. So through Fit Moms Academy and through the help that you've been to me and even my family, I know I'm going to get to my goal weight, and I know I'm going to be the mom, the wife that my family needs. And I know that God has great things in store for me and my family. And I'm going to break the generational patterns of poor health that are caused by poor lifestyle choices and obesity.
Yeah. So we're just going to already declare that we're going to bring you back on here in several months or whenever that is. And we're going to do another interview talking about how you have done that goal. Because I agree, you will definitely get there. You are making amazing progress. So
That
it's
sounds
been
awesome.
fun working together already. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time to hop on here today, Melissa. Thank you so
It
much.
is my pleasure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and like the accident it was to run across this program, and to be able to find community. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, thanks again, Melissa.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kelsey.